Change probably 3 to 4 days, max. And if they're on there
Uh,
more 5, 6 days, I take them down for a while until I'm like, hey, you told me this car was ready. Where is it? You know.
right. Yeah, exactly. And again, like I said, that's one reason the photo could not be up. Hell,
And we
God
get a lot of
forbid we have to.
calls. We get calls on those cars
Really? They don't
that
have the photos? I've
yeah,
got
they go,
photos
hey
of both
man,
of them.
when's that car gonna be ready? Call me back.
Yeah, yeah, because it fits the parameters of what they want.
I don't know
Well, that's
about a
excellent news.
Dart SE.
Right, right, yeah. I know we're just using examples here. Also, missed out on some specials pages here when we clicked on it. This is kind of where it went to. Um, just again, just some things we found.
We don't
These
really
are
do
just some
specials.
examples of. Oh, okay, gotcha. I didn't know if y'all had like
I
some
mean,
sort
my
of
cars
coffee
are
employee
so
thing.
cheap. It's just like I can't really give a guy.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, so it's like a no haggle sort of price thing. Okay. So this is an example here on the screen of what like a nice clean landing page that we offer might look like for the desktop as well. We do blogs and things of that nature, John, but blogs don't really help your SEO value as they used to. But press releases are nice, right? Let's say you did something for the community or whatever it is. And it's an example of a nice custom service portal. Now, this next part is a mystery shop. And we did mystery shop you, and we would continuously mystery shop you. For twofold. One, we want to make sure that all the leads are coming through quickly and cleanly, right? There's no 404 redirects or anything. Two, we are your partner. And I'm not, and when I say that, it's the truth because we expect to be fired if we're not increasing your car sales to 200 cars a month. Why else would you hire anybody to help you out unless they're increasing your car sales? Now, with that, that's not always true because not all dealers are as aggressive as we are, and that is completely fine. Some dealers like the status quo, and that's understandable. Hey, I've got a nice streamlined process here. I don't want to fix anything that ain't broke sort of scenario. Understandable. But again, we just want to make sure that if we're driving all this high quality traffic, we want to ensure that it's being converted, right? That you're closing them. So with that, Alexandria Kelly is not a real person, of course, and our team has a really fun time making these names up. And here's the timestamp and the stock number that they looked at here. Automatic email came in there. And then now, if this call or email response, John, came after 59 minutes, we would not know because we shut the system off after an hour. You know why? You don't respond to a lead within an hour, might as well kiss it goodbye. Anyway, so this is just what we found here. And then here's kind of what came back to us, and there could be, again, a plethora of reasons of why this wasn't as quick of a response,
That was what time was
Again,
that?
that's why we do it.
10:39.
Let me go back. 10:37 Pacific time on the 1st.
Was a phone number submitted? No.
Yeah, there's always a phone number submitted because this is essentially like a software. It's a mystery shop software.
So you submitted a phone number and you didn't get a call?
According to this, yes, sir.
Huh.
And again, it's all shut off after 60 minutes. So if they called at 61 minutes, we wouldn't have got it anyway. It would have never been registered.
You should have gotten a call right away.
I can put in for another mystery shop if you'd like. You write a note of that. But yeah, that's why we do this. And then we also mystery shop your competitors and make sure everything's coming through cleanly with them. And now, one of the last chapters in this book here is social media and your reviews and things like that. Your reviews are so badass, John. I'm very happy. Like, I changed this to very well done. I mean, there's 4.8. I mean, 4.7 is the magic number, okay? If you had a 4.6, I'd tell you to get to 4.7. 4.7 and above converts at the same level that 5.0 does.
I mean, I had a salesman give me a 4-star. I said, dude, leave my Google alone unless you're going to give me a 5-star. I'm like, what the hell are you doing?
Yeah, it's killing me. But man, I love this, John. Nothing to say here. Make sure you're obviously responding to any negative reviews you get, incentivizing the positive ones. This is an example of our platform that we have. It's our software. We send this out to anybody. We always jokingly say who even looks in the direction of your dealership. Good or excellent feedback, they come here to this screen. Any one of these interchangeable review sites you choose, they can easily leave a review. Now, if it's average or below, leaving a review is not an option. It's a bit of a filtration process. They fill a complaint form out. You get a copy, we get a copy. We collect some history on it to see if there's any consistency so we can aim to change it. Like, hey, there's a pushy salesperson or there's a weird smell in the dealership, right? Whatever it is, we can aim to fix it. Now, if they're a grinder and they really did something bad and they just got to go leave a review, they can do that on their own volition, but we don't make it very easy for them. Of course, instant alerts. You get alerted, we get alerted. Let's say you're out on vacation with your friends.
Did you notice my responses to grinders? Did you notice any of my responses on Yelp to some of the grinders?
No, I didn't. What are they like?
I'm like, it's really funny how people react when they don't get their own way.
Yeah. Like, well, you know,
my managers are like, how can you say that to people? I go, it's true. And then another one goes, oh, yeah, you offered us $17,000 on this van we sold down the street for $21,000. I said, I told the lady, I told her and her husband both, I said, first, your husband referred to my salesperson as a retard. Second, you know as well as I do, we offered you thousands more than you were claiming in your review. Have a nice day. And the other one, I said, talk about cyber bullying. You take the cake. I told the guy.
I love that.
Fuck them.
People respond to that though because it's not a, oh my gosh, you're so sorry. It's no, I'm protecting my business. You know, don't mess with where I eat. And that's as long as you're responding to the negative reviews. To let the people know, because when people are looking at reviews, they don't give a damn about the 1,000 great ones you do. They're looking for those 1 or 2 bad ones, right?
Yeah, so then their friend comes in behind them and says, I was looking to buy a car, and there's no way I would do business based on the way you respond to negative reviews, you know.
I can't believe somebody said that.
Well, that was one of their friends, right?
Oh,
so Yelp took it down. I said, this is not, you know, I flagged it. It was gone in 5 hours.
Nice.
You know.
Well, it sounds like you're on top of it. So the instant alerts would still come to you like you probably get now. But like I said, if for some reason you're out, can't respond, you're in a meeting, we can respond immediately as well with with an actual person responding, nothing cookie cutter. It doesn't matter. You can respond. There's nothing cookie cutter about our relationship. Social media, I know you don't like Facebook, like you said, but you guys have a nice, strong following here. I mean, look at that, man, over 6,000 people. However, you want to make sure, come on, go back. You want to make sure and have your logo here for brand recognition. Just little things like that, John. Brand recognition there is nice. And also, you have 6,000 people who follow and like you. But look, there's a little bit of a low social reach when it comes to these actual posts. And these posts are great. I mean, there's nothing wrong with them. And the reason for that, sorry, were you taking a picture of that?
No, the other one. You're hearing me.
Okay. Yeah, I've been hearing it.
Oh. I mean, you know.
Hey,
one before that I wanted the picture of. Because I would fix that today. The one right before this.
Yeah, this. Man, why is my computer? There we go. This one?
Yeah.
Yeah. So just have your logo added there, and it's just for brand recognition. It makes sense. Now, the reason you have a low social engagement, you have 6,000 people, is this right here. Not because your posts are ugly or anything like that. Those are great posts. It's Facebook. It's freaking greedy. Who would have thought, right? They like making money off you. Their algorithm proves that they see themselves as an advertising platform, not a social media outlet. 6% of your organic followers will see your organic posts. The only way to increase this number, their algorithm, is paid advertisement. You got to give Facebook money. Unfortunately, who would have thought? With that, though, social media advertising does work. However, most dealers fall into the pitfall of spending too much money. We always recommend, let me rephrase that. I always recommend, my rule of thumb as a consultant is about 10% of your digital budget should go to social media. If you're spending $10,000, put $1,000 of it on Facebook or Instagram or Twitter, what have you.
Now, what constitutes digital budget?
So for me, it's anything non-TV, billboards, grassroots. So it's what you're spending on Google for search engine marketing. It's what you're doing for retargeting and remarketing on pay-per-click. It's what you're spending for SEO. It's what you're spending on social media. things of that nature. It's also what you're spending on streaming devices like Roku, which we do targeted advertising with our AIM platform, by the way.
But what about
Roku,
what about Auto Trader, Car Gurus?
Yes, exactly. Yes. That was my next point. All those third-party lead aggregates, which you've segued me perfectly into what we call the vendor reduction process. And let me take that back. What I call the vendor reduction process. So all these third-party lead aggregates, right? They're usually pretty good for used cars. However, a lot of them inflate the results, as you probably know better than anybody. Auto Trader will come in and say, "Oh, well, we give you 30% of your leads."
Fucking Cars.com is the worst.
Yeah. Well, Cars.com. Well, see, here's what's interesting. A dealer I spoke with yesterday lives and dies by Cars.com.
I canceled
And
them.
they've got the data to prove it. I mean, it's crazy. It's so subjective, John, to each.
All their data is like, oh no, these people. I said, listen, if they're on Car Gurus, they're on Auto Trader, they're on this place, they're on the other place, they're on Craigslist, they're on Edmunds. I said, if you can, because they were charging me like $3,500 a month. I said, if you can give me exactly what I have now for exactly what I spend on Edmunds, I'll keep you. Oh, we can't do that. Okay, then here's my 30-day notice.
Yeah, goodbye. So let me take this up a notch for you. For one, we of course looked at some of the, we did an audit. We're looking at what you got. Even though you don't spend money on Cars.com, you do still have a brand on there here. Again, Edmunds is some real-time photos. These are just things we found, John. These guys will inflate the results for you, right? Because they want to make sure that you keep giving them money so that they can turn around and advertise their brand, by the way, not yours. So they use the dealer's dollars to spend money on their own advertising to build trust with the consumer in your market, which is a whole other conversation, what I call the circle of distrust. But with us, they are no longer able to do that, okay? So the reason that we have the ability that we have to be a filter is actually quite astonishing. All of these third-party lead aggregates, all of them, they all got together and they formed like this, essentially this consortium, okay? So they took all the data that they've collected on you and your customer and everything else, and they're selling it. And the buyer of that big data, you guessed it, C4 Analytics. So part of this 105 data sets in our AIM network I discussed earlier, we're in a long-term data agreement with, is including every single third-party company from Car Gurus to Auto Trader to Edmunds to Cars.com, Kelley Blue Book, etc. Every single click down to the trim level and VIN number we have access to. That's, again, part of how we know how to strike so precisely. So think about it. You spend a good chunk of money.
Okay, so let's forget about advertising.
Okay.
How about you guys tell us what to buy?
Again, you are like doing the presentation for me, brother. That's exactly what I'm alluding to is budget allocation. Okay?
No. You tell me what cars to buy.
As far as to have in your inventory?
Yeah, this is what people are looking for. This is what you should be buying today. That's what you guys need to do.
That's a very creative approach, actually, John. I'm going to write that down.
That's you guys owe me $1 million for this. I don't care about all this. Let me tell you something. All this advertising. I'm going to be straight up with you. Okay.
Please do, please.
I'm. If you search for, most people these days are searching for price. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
You cannot deny that.
Correct. I agree.
Okay. You guys are great. You're going to get me more found. Okay. But at the end of the day, it's going to be, one, do they have what I'm looking for? Two, is it priced right? And that's it. That's it. You guys get all this data, within 20 miles of my dealership what people are looking for. That's what you need to be selling to me. You need to be telling me what to buy, and I'll be buying that from you.
And that's exactly what we can do for you if you want. That would go into the bucket, John, of just some different creativity that we can do with our data. For example, like that employment campaign that you shot down. But that's just examples, right, of things. You know what?
What do you mean I shot it down?
C4.
Oh, that one. Yeah. That's
tracking the phone.
Yeah, I mean, we don't really feel we have competition. You know, they're building a CarMax a mile, not even a mile down the freeway on the other side of the freeway from us. We're like,
Oh, wow.
bring it on, man. You know how many
Yeah.
people they piss off and how many people they overcharge, and our prices are way better than theirs, so no problem.
Yeah.
They're building a Honda store down the street from us. No problem. Bring it on. That means there's more buyers that are getting off the freeway and driving past my car lot. Bring it on.
Uh-huh.
We're not afraid,
And I like that.
and we don't feel we have competition. Because we buy from, the Nissan dealer down the street, the Toyota dealer down the street, the Toyota dealer down the other way, the Mercedes dealer down the other way. We buy from all these guys wholesale,
Right, of course, yeah.
Of
course.
It's
Well, I like the way you look at that, though, John. But, at the end of the day, market share is market share. Sales are sales. Money in your pocket is just that.
right.
So you just got to make sure, if
So
you're
the market
looking
share
to get-
dials down to, do you have the right car in stock, and how much is it?
Of course, yeah. And that, you having the right car stock and pricing it how you want that's kind of your ball game, right? But we can, of course, help you find, like, look, this car, this model, this year is huge. Here's why. Here's the data to prove that. Why don't you go buy some of these cars? That is what you get with the consultative approach. If that's what you're looking for out of a partner, then so be it. We'll do that plus other things. So that's kind of, again, going back to that bucket of creativity. How can you be more successful with our services and expertise?
Yeah, because you just told me you get all the data. Click down to the year, VIN, extra, etc. All I need to know is what people are looking for, and you've increased my sales to 200.
That's it. That's it. Well, this would have been a lot shorter conversation. But John, I mean, that's what we're doing. Those kind of conversations is what you'll have week in, week out with your client success manager. We have weekly calls, hour-long agenda in advance, so we know what we're going to be discussing on each call. Strategy sessions, right? This is what's going on in the market. This is what we are proactive on. We foresaw this coming. We created this strategy. John, what do you think about it? John, what sort of strategies do you have? It's that collaborative brainstorming meeting once a week to drive strategy for your store. And again, with our 90% client retention rate, been in business for 10 years now. I mean, the proof is in the pudding with that. Like I said before, all the awards and all that, that's real cute. But where's the act? Well, how do you walk the walk? Well, we walk the walk by showing you real numbers and showing you real results, right? Moving metal. Getting up to 180 to eventually 200, streamlining that consistent sales volume. I think you'd be a happy camper that you took this meeting, right? Now, if you're still stuck, you're only selling 160 cars a month, a little bit of an increase, 165 cars a month. I mean, that's nice, but that means we're not doing our job. See what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So with that, we're on our time crunch here. Do you have any kind of final thoughts here? Because at the end of the day, this is my story, man. I'm sticking to it. Dealers are really used to that same old bland chicken dinner with no results, what I call the liability merry-go-round, right, as opposed to being an asset, because this is an investment, right? You're talking about investing in your dealership, hoping to have a return. That's an asset, as opposed to breaking even. That's a liability. So with that, I'm going to send you a follow-up email that has a ton of information in it. I'm going to send you some collateral to look through, some attachments about our phase 1, our phase 2 process, so on and so forth. And then I can also get you a proposal out to your dealership, because they're custom proposals. And what it is, it's a hard copy glue-bound book with a table of contents. It's a really nice thing, but it has the pricing in there for your store. Of course, you guys are car dealers. You're going to negotiate with us. So we would love to set up a proposal review call with you and the owner. If I'm pronouncing his name right, it's Mehdi.
Eddie with an M.
Mehdi, yep, that's what it. Mehdi, because he came and saw us at NADA.
That's not his real name,
It's not?
No, that's his nickname. His real name is Golem Reza.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so he just goes by Mehdi.
Yeah.
Like his brother's name is Mohammed, and he goes by Kevin.
Yeah. I guess, yeah, there's more, that's so funny, man. But hey, listen, so I'll get that proposal out to you. Do you think we can all get on a call, or maybe you're going to have to discuss this with Medi, of course. But he came and saw us at the booth at NADA. I was not there. I actually just had a baby coming up on 2 weeks ago.
Boy or girl?
Baby, so a little boy. Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry about that.
Because he kisses everywhere every time I change his diaper.
Right in your face.
Dude, out on his face.
Do you have any other
It's
kids?
crazy. No, this is my first one.
Oh, well, congratulations.
Thank you, brother. I appreciate it.
I have one girl, and, you know, and I always told God, I said, just give me a little girl, please, you know. And,
And he granted.
you know, it's okay. I mean, every guy wants to have a boy until he gets about 12. Then it's like, then he's gone, you know.
Yeah. Well, I'm not looking forward to that power shift, you know, when he tries to battle the alpha, right? And be
Oh man, mine's 8. Mine's 8, and she's battling me right now.
Oh, jeez.
Oh.
Well, I mean, get this. My baby, we named him Bodie, and he was born 11 pounds 2 ounces.
Holy cow! He sounds like a power skier, Bodie.
Yeah, Bodie. What was that guy's name? Bodie Miller or Bodie something?
I don't know. That sounds like a skier.
That's funny you say that. But, yeah, we had to cut him out. We had to have a C-section because he was so big.
Wow.
We didn't want one. But anyway, so it's been a whirlwind. I'm exhausted. I'm on like a caffeinated soapbox right now. But
I get it. I've been there, man.
Yeah. You know, it's tiring, isn't it? Everybody says it's the truth, man. They all say, "Oh, well, we get ready for lack of sleep." I was like, yeah. And they are so right. And now what everybody's telling me is, man, cherish these times because you're going to blink and they're going to be driving off to college. And you know what? I'm heeding that advice because all the other advice I got was correct. You know what I mean?
So, can you send me an a la carte
So
proposal?
that would be a conversation you need to have with our owner. We're a smaller company. We're a little bit more of a boutique. So you can call the owner anytime. They'd love to talk to you. It's not like a big conglomerate, right?
That's like us.
We try to stay away from the a la carte. The reason for that is because everything is so intertwined with each other. Like a strong SEO strategy helps a strong search engine marketing strategy because the meta tags need to be built specifically for that advertisement. They all need to match up. Things like that. Now, if you don't want to have us do your reviews, you don't want to have us do social media, that's a different conversation. But SEO and SEM should be together. And if anybody tells you different, they're not looking for your best interest. With that conversation will be had with the owner at that time. What I'll do is I'll send you a custom proposal, though, John, like I discussed, and it'll be at your dealership tomorrow. You'll have it in your hands tomorrow. We'll FedEx it overnight. Once you have that, read through it, plus all the collateral that I send you here in just a minute. And discuss it with Medi and see what thoughts are going around. Because at the end of the day, you're